provision of makeup services includes not only application, but also ensuring that beauticians use appropriate beauty products to create tailored looks. That is the reason it is important to understand product formulation. I am Kevin Baxter, and I will take you through another Heart NSTA Trust lecture series, The Heartbeat. In today's session, we join Donique Ferrin-Houston for Cosmetic Chemistry for beauty products. This is where we ensure that we align product specifications with client needs.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, in today's session, we're going to be talking about cosmetic chemistry. You're probably wondering, why do I need to know about cosmetic chemistry as a beauty therapist? Well, this is why. Cosmetic chemistry is all around us. Everything you come in contact with has some aspect of cosmetic chemistry. Today, we are going to be covering the key elements of what things are made of. Then we're going to explore how these things come together to make other bigger things. And finally, we are going to understand how, by knowing what things are made of, you are able to make selections that will serve you as a hairdresser, a beauty therapist, or even a massage therapist. We're going to explore what things are made of. Everything around us, this glass here, this bottle here, they are all categorized as matter. There are three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Gas is what we see in our environment. Well, do we see it? We can't see it, but it is there. Gas comprises single particles that are floating around in the air. We can't see them, but they're essential for life. They help us to breathe and grow. Water, as seen in our glasses here, is a fluid substance, so it conforms to whatever container it is placed in. As you can see here, the water moves as it is in the glass, and that is because water is fluid. The particles are closely packed together, but there is some amount of space to allow for movement. Now, our bottle here is a solid. Now, you notice if I squeeze this or press it, the container doesn't change. And that is because in a solid, the particles are closely packed together. But you may be wondering, what are these particles? The smallest particle that we will come across is called an atom. An atom is made up of three main parts: the nucleus, which is comprised of your proton and neutron, and your electrons. Electrons orbit around the protons and the neutrons, which make them function in the way that they're supposed to function. Now, atoms join together to form molecules and compounds. As we go into our lesson today, you will see how different types of substances come together to form different products. Now, before we can get into our product creation, we need to understand a little bit more about how different types of substances behave. So, we need to discuss the concept of bonding. Bonding is where you have two or more atoms joining together to form a new substance. Let's take, for example, water. Water is a liquid, but water is made up of two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. When you have bonding taking place between the oxygen and the hydrogen, a new substance is created, water, which is a liquid. The different substances created have different properties, and this can be described in different ways. Some substances are solvents. Some substances are botanicals. Other substances are described as humectants. These terms sound strange, and we are going to see what each of these mean so we can have a better understanding of how products work. A solvent is a substance that has the capability of dissolving another substance. A humectant is a substance that attracts water to itself. A botanical is a substance that is derived from plant. So let's explore molecules. We're going to use water as an example. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Water is in the form of a liquid. However, hydrogen and oxygen are in the form of gases. You may wonder, how do the gases change into a liquid? Well, that's what happens when atoms come together. They form new substances. Now, when new substances are formed, they can be categorized as molecules, they can be categorized as compounds. Now, the substances that make up the products that we use in our hair care or our nail care or our makeup, they all comprise ingredients. The ingredients that are in the range of substances that we use, they all have different properties. Now, let's talk more about how some of these different substances behave. You have a term that is known as pH. The pH of the substance is how acidic or how alkaline a substance is. pH is measured on a scale from 0 to 14. 0 to 7 being acidic and 7 to 14 being alkaline. 7, the midpoint, is usually neutral. Acidic substances have a tightening effect on the skin. Alkaline substances have a softening effect on the skin. What does that mean? You use a toner on your face. Did you know that your toner is actually acidic? And that acid helps to tighten your pores and refine your skin? Yes, that's true. Alkaline substances, they have a softening effect on the skin, meaning they break down the skin. Your relaxers, they are alkaline. They are very alkaline, and they can even hurt you because relaxers are closer to the 14 end of this scale. However, your cleanser that you use on your skin is also alkaline, but it is closer to 7 on the scale. So we see here where different substances have different measures on the pH scale. How acidic or how alkaline a substance is will determine how strongly it will impact your skin. For example, a toner, as we discussed earlier, is closer to the neutral on the pH scale. Your skin is actually acidic in nature. The pH of your skin is between 4.5 to 5.5. The pH of, let's say, lime juice, it's closer to 0 on the pH scale. You will find that if you put lime juice directly onto your skin, you may feel a slight tingling, or for some people, a slight burning sensation. This is where formulation comes into play. There are many products that contain natural ingredients like lime juice. However, we know that lime juice is much more acidic than the skin. So these products are usually diluted in order to achieve a more soothing effect to the skin. When we use substances on the skin that are more alkaline, for example, our cleanser, then another concept comes into play, the concept of neutralization. Now, when you use the alkaline cleanser, it's important that even after you rinse your face, you use a toner which will balance out the pH. By using an acidic toner after an alkaline cleanser, you will find that your skin will remain healthy, bright, and radiant. You may notice that if you're using a soap on the face, or even your regular cleanser on the face, and you do not use a toner, you might experience dryness or irritation to the skin. So you see, cosmetic chemistry is important. Another concept to consider is whether you're working with an organic substance or an inorganic substance. Organic substances are substances that either are alive or used to be alive. For example, water, it's not alive and it has never been alive. So water would be considered an inorganic substance. Very good. Now, if we consider our lime juice that we mentioned earlier, lime juice comes from a lime. A lime grows on a tree. So lime juice would be considered an organic substance. As beauty therapists, we will come across organic and inorganic substances every day. Organic substances can be broken down into three major categories: carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. Carbohydrates are your sugar-based ingredients. These are available in three major forms. You have your simple sugars, for example, glucose. You have your complex sugars, for example, your sucrose, your fructose, your galactose, which are natural sugars occurring in a wide range of substances. For example, glucose comes from the sugarcane. Lactose comes from milk. And these are substances that we use daily as beauty therapists. We also have our starches. Starches are more complex substances that are found in our food. For example, yam, rice, right? And these add to our nutritional value, as well as some of these more complex substances are used in beauty care. Next, we'll talk about our lipids. You've never heard that term before? You know lipids. Lipids are our fats. Fats are that greasy substance that helps to hold things together or to give your skin that luxurious feel. Next, we have our proteins. Proteins helping strengthening the hair if you are doing a treatment for damaged hair. Proteins are found in a wide array of substances, such as your moisturizers, your foundations, and they're available in different forms that you probably wouldn't even expect. So we see where our organic substances work together with our inorganic substances to make the products we use every day. This next concept that we're going to look at, it may sound a little bit tricky, but it's very simple. The next concept we will look at is percutaneous absorption. Big word, but it's not that difficult to understand. Percutaneous absorption. Per means via, and cutaneous refers to the skin. So percutaneous absorption simply refers to the process by which substances are absorbed through unbroken skin. Now, this is a concept that we must be familiar with as you are applying a wide array of substances to your clients on a daily basis. Now, you need to understand how the skin works in absorbing substances. There are three routes of absorption: the transcellular route, the follicular route, and the intercellular route. The transcellular route involves substances moving from the outside to the inside through the cell. So what that means is it goes into the cell, through the cell, then out the cell. This is a lengthy process because it has to pass membranes to go in and out of the cell. The next method is the follicular method. It involves products soaking into your pores and being absorbed into the skin. Finally, we have our intercellular method. Intercellular absorption is the fastest method, as the products do not enter cells, but they move around the cells. Our cells are held together by lipids. Yes, those are fats, which we spoke about earlier. Now, for a substance to travel through fats, it needs to have some sort of oil-based property. And that is why many of our products are formulated oil-based because that's how they will travel through the skin. Absorption happens through different routes, as previously discussed. It is also affected by the conditions under which the product is placed on the skin. The age of the skin will determine how fast or slow the product is absorbed. Products absorb faster through younger skin. As a person ages, the amount of product will decrease, depending on the condition of the person's skin, which is our next factor that will affect penetration. If the product is applied to broken skin, there will be rapid absorption, which is not always desirable. Unbroken skin gives you the amount of protection needed and will regulate how much product comes into the skin. And that is why, if you pay attention to your labels, you will always see the warning: do not apply to broken skin. The skin is very good at sorting what should be in and what should stay out. So this is a very important tip to follow. The amount of product and the frequency of application will also affect penetration into the skin. If you apply a product 4 times for the day versus 1 time for the day, then you will have a greater effect with the four-time application. You also will have greater effects if more product is applied to the skin, or a higher concentration of the product is applied to the skin. For example, if you're treating acne, a 0.5 concentration will be less effective than a 1% concentration. Ingredients come together to form products, just as how in bonding atoms come together to form molecules or compounds. It is important for us to be aware of the different forms of products. Products can be available in suspension form, solution form, mixture, gel, stick, just to name a few. Let's talk a little bit about the forms that you can find your different products in. A solution is where 2 substances are combined seamlessly in a liquid form. Just to give you a visual, think about when you're making Kool-Aid. You pour a sachet of Kool-Aid into a jug of water and you mix. What happens? The water changes from clear to pink if it's a chocoberry fin that you chose. This is an example of a solution. Our toners that we use are solutions, and we will be making a product today that is a solution. We'll discuss that a little later. Another form that you can have products in is a suspension form. A suspension is a product where you have larger particles dispersed in a fluid. What does that mean? That simply means that the particle will settle to the bottom if you leave it to sit. Think about if you are taking an antibiotic that says shake bottle before use, or an orange juice that says shake before use. Some particles will separate to the bottom, so it's always important for you to shake before use. Another form that you can find your products in is emulsion form. And this is an important one as we come in contact with this every day. Our lotions are emulsions. An emulsion is a mixture of oil and water. Oil and water don't usually mix. However, this product combines both ingredients seamlessly, but with the use of an emulsifying agent. Emulsions are very important because they give the skin moisture with the water and also lubrication with the oil. You have products available in stick form, like your deodorant. You also have products available in ointment form, which is basically a mixture that has no water in it. An example is your Whitfield's ointment that has the sulfur and your petroleum base. You also have substances that are available in aerosol form, like your air freshener, just to name a few. So we see that you can have products available in a wide array of forms. Now, we are going to take a closer look at what you actually put into these products and how different ingredients will impact the final outcome of your product. Ingredients are wide and varied. You have ingredients ranging from liquids to solids to gases. They come in different colors, they come from different backgrounds, they can be organic or inorganic. They can have different pH. You can have them being acidic or alkaline. But one thing is in common with all ingredients. They're all made of atoms. So are you seeing how things are coming together? We start with atoms. By bonding, these come together to form different substances. These substances are called ingredients. And we will combine the ingredients to form products. Let's talk more about our ingredients. Ingredients are wide and varied. Some ingredients act as a solvent. A solvent is something that dissolves another substance. Some ingredients act as a solute. A solute is a substance that you dissolve. Let's talk about solute and solvent before we move on. So remember the example earlier about the Kool-Aid and the water? Water would be, you guessed it, the solvent, and the Kool-Aid would be the solute. Other ingredients may include a lipid. Lipids are very important in products. As I said earlier, they lubricate the skin and add moisture to the skin. But they are also important as a thickening agent in some products. You have botanicals that are included in many products. For example, aloe vera, shea butter, lime, just to name a few. There are other products that will enhance the product itself in ways that we may not observe at first, but as you use the product. For example, a humectant is a product that attracts water to itself. The humectant may not necessarily add or take away to the form of the product. So it may not make it a solution or a mixture, but it acts in a hidden way to enhance the product. For example, you are creating a moisturizer for the skin. You want to keep the skin hydrated. A humectant is an excellent addition. This will help your skin to remain soft and supple even under dry conditions. Another category is surfactants. Surfactants help to mix products together so that they are easily combined. You also have preservatives. How do you think these products are able to stay in the stores for so long? They would spoil if they didn't have preservatives. So preservatives help to increase the shelf life of our products. You also have colorants or fragrance, which will improve the aesthetic quality of our products. We could go on and on about the different types of ingredients, and it's important for you to read so you can learn more about the products that you use every day. Let us see how ingredients come together in a practical way. Now, on our table, we have things that are readily available in your home because I know COVID has you at home right now. And I want you to work along with me as we create two simple products today. We will be creating a makeup brush cleaner and a makeup brush shampoo. Now, what's the difference between a makeup brush cleaner and a makeup brush shampoo? A makeup brush cleaner is usually stored in a spray bottle or a squeeze bottle, as we have here, and it is used to do your cleaning in between makeup jobs. So you're not ready to do a deep clean, a wash for your brushes, but you have a lot of clients and you need clean brushes. The makeup brush cleaner is what you would use to get the grease out quickly. Now, your brush shampoo is when you have completed your day and you want to deep clean your brushes, you would use a shampoo. Now, what I want you to see is that for creating both products, even though they both have different purposes and they work in different ways, we are going to use the same ingredients. If you're making dumpling, right, you're going to use flour, salt, baking powder, sugar, and you can drop in an egg. If you're going to make a cake, you can use the same ingredients, but the amounts will be different. You do this every day and you don't even realize it. Well, today we're going to give this process a fancy name. This is called formulation. Formulation is where you give different amounts to different ingredients to achieve a specific end goal. Now, water is a solvent. Vinegar, also known as acetic acid, has some amount of exfoliating properties which boost the cleaning power of any substance that you add it to. And that's why we're going to be adding vinegar to our substance today. Alcohol is also a solvent. We use alcohol to boost the solvent properties of water, which we'll talk about later. Dishwashing liquid is basically a soap base. The reason why we use dishwashing liquid is because it's formulated to cut grease. And makeup brushes have a lot of grease. Okay, so what are we going to do? The first thing we must do in our formulation is to determine how much product we're going to make. Here we have two bottles, two 8-ounce bottles. And why I've chosen these bottles is because they have the measurements on the bottles. Now, if you're at home and you're just starting out, you can use a measuring cylinder from your kitchen, or you can use estimation. We are working with an 8-ounce mixture for each product. The brush cleaner, we need it to work quickly. We need it to evaporate quickly. And we need it to dissolve the grease. Now, how will it evaporate quickly? It will evaporate quickly because of our alcohol. So this product is an alcohol-based product. This will be our major ingredient. Dishwashing liquid is soapy. So even though this product will also be included in our mixture, we do not want a lot of dishwashing liquid because we do not want to have a foam, as the brushes will not be rinsed. Okay, now we're going to be making our brush shampoo first. Our bottle is 8 ounces, which is approximately 240 milliliters. Our beaker here is 200 milliliters, and we will be doing just about 200 mils of mixture. Now, for our brush cleaner, we're going to have about 75% of our mixture being our dishwashing liquid, because we want it to be able to foam and be effective. Now, if we're working with 200 milliliters, 75% of 200 would be what? 75% of 100 mils is 75. Then 75% of 200 mils is, yes, 150 mils. So we're going to place 150 mils of dishwashing liquid into our beaker. Now, when we're measuring, we try to keep our bottle flat so we get an accurate measurement. When we're close, we go So we have 150 mils of dishwashing liquid. Next, we are going to add our vinegar. Now we have 50 mils to work with. Now we're going to add another half of the remaining 50 mils will be our vinegar and half will be our alcohol. So we've added our vinegar and now we will add some alcohol. So we will bring our alcohol up to the 200 mark. Next, we stir. So here we have created our simple brush cleaner shampoo. Now we'll move on to the brush cleaner spray. Now this formulation has a high concentration of our dishwashing liquid because we want it to foam and cut grease. Now for our brush cleaner spray, our main ingredient will be our alcohol. So we're going to be using similar estimated amounts, but we are going to be using our alcohol instead of our dishwashing liquid in the formulation. So our first thing that we will add is 150 mils of our alcohol. Followed by our alcohol, we'll add about 25 mils of our vinegar. Next, we will add approximately 25 mils of our water. And you may be wondering, what happened to the dishwashing liquid? Now, we are only going to add a few drops of our dishwashing liquid. And then we will stir. Brush cleaner shampoo, brush cleaner spray. So you have created a quick and easy product at home that you can use Okay, so we're going to test the products that we have made. Here we have a dirty makeup brush. This brush has concealer on it, and you know concealer is so hard to get out of your brushes. So let's try to do a quick cleanup with our makeup brush cleaner spray. So we're going to put some on our paper towel and we're going to wipe. Look how easily the product is removed, and we'll go again. Apply it to your paper towel and wipe. So we now have no product in our brush. Our brush is nice and clean. So we're going to try again with our brush shampoo. So we have some concealer here. We're going to apply our concealer to our brush. We're going to place some water in our jar, just for rinsing. And we're going to apply our brush cleaner shampoo. So I'm going to swish in the palm of my hand and then rinse. And we see here our brush is nice and clean. So you have just created a quick and easy product. And you see where different ingredients come together in different proportions to make different products. So we have just concluded our session on cosmetic chemistry. See you next time.
What was the most difficult part of this lesson for you? Do you understand how to create, select, and customize products for your customers? Share your answers with us through our social media pages or on WhatsApp on 876-279-7930. I am Kevin Baxter. Join us again for another in the series, The Heartbeat.